Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I am Chef Marcus Giuliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission, I'm going to rant a little bit. I'm so going to rant a little bit. It's about customer service. Just, the more I do business with other businesses, especially small businesses, big businesses too, any business, just lack of customer service. It's downright pathetic. It's just disgusting. Here's the latest case of disgusting, pathetic customer service from an owner of a brewery, okay? So, it's now September. A full year ago, I met Jim Caruso, the owner of Flying Dog Brewery. Flying Dog Brewery, great brewery, makes some great beers. Met him in New York City at Brooklyn Brewery at the kickoff for Craft Beer Week, like the press event. So I get introduced, start talking to him. I'd love to do a beer dinner with you, Jim. It would be love for you to come to my restaurant and do a beer dinner. It would be great. I understand you're in Maryland. Next time, and I always approach people, my winery owner, the winery owners, all these people that are traveling in, that are coming to New York, I said, let me know when you're coming in again. I would love to do a dinner when you're in the area. Don't make a special trip for my restaurant, but when you're in the area, because a lot of these guys come to do their regular sales routes and or to do their PR for their brewery, their winery, so they come to these tastings all the time. So chances are he's going to be at Craft Beer Week again. He's going to be in New York for something again, okay? A lot of the wineries come in every year for these big tastings that they do, the annual portfolio tastings. So while they're here, they go around for the week and they visit accounts. So that's my thought when I ask people, can you come do a dinner? Can you come represent your winery or your brewery at my restaurant? So I said, whenever you're in town, can you please pick the date? So after some emails, took 3-4 months, but by March, Jim Caruso, and I know Jim is watching this because I'm sending him this email. And I was very tight-lipped when he called me today. I'm gonna get to that part of it. I was very tight-lipped. I bit my lip and I just said goodbye to him. And oh man. Well, Jim, here's my response to your phone call the other day. Okay, this whole video is my response. So, Jim sends us an email. I can do August whatever date. Now, my restaurant doesn't do beer dinners in August because we're way too busy. And I can't set aside 40 seats on a Friday night to do a beer dinner. So we've never done a beer dinner. I've been open 10 years. I've been serving craft beer for 10 years. I've never served Budweiser, never served Coors, never served a single brand related to Budweiser. I don't serve Stella Artois. I don't serve any of that stuff. That's all Bud products. That's InBev, Rolling Rock. It's all InBev. Grolsch, InBev. I don't serve any of that stuff. I don't support any of the 200 brands that Bud owns. Nor do I support any of the stuff Coors owns, okay? So I'm a true craft beer bar, okay? That's restaurant. That's what we do here. So he says, I can come in August. My beer sommelier, Kevin and I were like, we'll take him whenever he can come. This is great. We confirm via email, this and that. Well, 2 months before the event now, a good month, 2 months before, we're emailing him. All of a sudden, no response to his personal email. No response from Jim. Now I'm getting nervous. I'm like, man, this guy's not answering back. It's like 5 weeks away, 4 weeks away. Something's got to happen here. I call his cell phone, no answer. Then supposedly the New York City rep gets involved a little bit, and and I don't want to call her out because she got thrown into this big time. He basically put her and said, call them and tell them I can't make it. No, Jim, you booked the dinner. Why don't you call? Why don't you email? Kevin and I called you and emailed you several times before you even got a response. I just happened to catch you on the phone one day because I said, one more time I'm calling him. One last time I'm going to call Jim Caruso. I dialed and you happened to answer the phone, okay? You were sorry, this, that. Then you offered to pick another date, Jim. You offered to pick another date. We had a great conversation. I told you that I've been a Flying Dog supporter for 10 years. Okay, Flying Dog Horn Dog was one of the first beers on my list. I've been a supporter of yours for 10 years. I've over 200 beers, craft beers, almost 250 craft beers. And Flying Dog has always had a representation on my menu. So, no answer back, so we're kind of like going to now forced to cancel this dinner. Now, of course, now Jim can't do the dinner because I finally get a hold of him on the phone, I can't do it. The dinner was virtually sold out. I didn't even put up there. I told everyone, we have a huge beer following here for our beer dinners. We've been doing craft beer dinners for 6 years, okay? That might not seem long, but in the craft beer world, there's not many restaurants that have done true craft beer dinners. full 5 courses and 5 beers with damn good food for 6 years, okay? Not many restaurants have done it, because not many higher end restaurants have recognized the power of craft beer. And we recognize the power of craft beer, just like wine. A lot of restaurants have veered towards wine. You know, David Burke and all these, you know, celebrity chefs have these big, massive restaurants, $500,000 wine cellars, and their beer sucks. Okay, their beer totally sucks. That's not how it is in my restaurant. Wine and beer get the same parallel service. We age wines, beers, we cellar beers just like wine. We have an intense beer list, okay? We have a lot of fun here at the beers and the wines. So, while I'm talking to the phone, Jim picks another day. Well, I can come in January, is what he says, okay? I'll be happy to come in January. I'll do this dinner for you, this and this. I said, you know what, let me confirm with you, because, you know, next year's next year, and I got a lot of bookings already for next year. You know, beer vendors, beer salespeople, beer reps from the breweries, and even beer brewery owners love to come to our place to do dinners. They love to, they love to, they love to. I mean, they just flip out. I mean, every time I go to any of the beer tastings, Belgium comes to Cooperstown, any of these big events, TAP New York, they all say, when are we doing another beer dinner? When are we doing another beer dinner? Let's do another beer dinner. And it's awesome. It's really awesome what these guys do. You know, like Dennis from Stone is the man. He is the total man, Dennis from Stone. Pat from Smutty Nose, oh my gosh. I mean, these guys are, there's a lot of phenomenal. Jake from Omegang Duvel, man, if Jake could do a dinner every month, he would do a dinner every month. I mean, he's game for whatever we want to do. Just like, you guys put something together, we'll do it. I'll get there, I'll do a presentation, I'll do whatever you guys want, just do it. So, Jim calls me 2 days ago. Calls me and he goes, you know, I was running some numbers, and the last 9 months you bought 1 keg and 1 case. And that's very, very different than what you told me. Shut my lip, okay? Very, very different than what you told me. Jim, run reports for the last 10 years, okay? Why don't you do that? So, he goes, I just cannot do a dinner based upon those numbers. It just doesn't work financially. I can't do that. I said, understand, goodbye. So Jim, I know you're listening to this because I'm sending you this email. I'm gonna keep tweeting this email too. I'm going to keep tweeting this video out, you know, as part of my tweet regime, because I tweet constantly every day, and I'm just gonna put it on auto tweet and just send it out every month on auto tweet. So Jim, let's talk about business practices, okay? I've been a customer for 10 years. First of all, you do diddly squat for upstate New York, okay? You focus all of your attention on New York City. We're an hour and a half from New York City. A lot of my clientels are from New York City, okay? In fact, I have a guy who owns 40 restaurants, one of the most successful restaurateurs in New York City, that comes to my restaurant and loves our beer and drinks wine too, who has major craft beer presence in New York. In fact, the guy who's owning a brewery now, him and I talk beer all the time. Him and I talk beer constantly. In fact, his beer sommelier was at the event the night that I met you. Okay, his beer sommelier was there with 40 restaurants, and they're all good restaurants. They do. You know, so you don't know who's coming to my restaurant to see you talk and present your beer. Okay, you have no idea who's going to be the audience and out of 40 people. Jim, you have no clue. So, you know, it's not always about me, it's not always about the restaurant, it's about who you impact. It's about the people that you build a relationship with. You would have had 40 people here that night that you would have had the attention of, that would have known you personally, had a chance to meet you personally. So, Jim, when you sell a customer something, okay, when somebody's in yours, you should have been running reports 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago, 7, 6, 5, and you would have noticed that Flying Dog went up and peaked, and then went down and down and down and down. Now on that downhill, Jim, that's when you should have been running those numbers and saying, man, here's this restaurant that's not doing the presence they used to do with Flying Dog. I wonder what's wrong. Let me call them. Let me shoot an email. Let me get my national sales manager. Let me get somebody in sales to reach out to Aroma Time and Marcus and see how we can better service them. Okay? Because something's obviously wrong. We had a fan here, now they're just dying off the radar. Hey Jim, when somebody comes into my restaurant and they give me their email, they give me something, man, I contact them. I reach out, I follow up with emails, I send them offers, I send them emails of what's going on, I send them my newsletter, I send them special offers. I will send them literally postcards up until a year of them not being in, okay? And then after that point, they'll still get emails, and if they come back in, and if I have their email and they're a member here, especially if they're a member, they got a member card, and their number goes through the system, and they're automatically reactivated into my system. You know, they're in my system, and I'm still I'm communicating with them. I bought 1 keg of the Innocent Gun. Bought 1 keg 7 months ago, this wintertime. I get an email from them every single month. What's going on at the brewery, this and that. I just got an email just today before making this video of a new beer that they're launching. I mean, they're communicating to me. I'm on their list. They knew I bought their product. And a lot of breweries do that. Now, Innocent Gun doesn't have a sales rep up here, and maybe you didn't have a sales rep, but an email goes a long way, Jim. Jim, if I relied upon people to walk in my door and never monitor their spending, never see what's going on, and all of a sudden have them come in 3 years later and say, you know what, or a year later or whatever, and say, you know what, can I get my birthday offer? Can I get this offer? And if I looked at them and said, you know, you really don't spend enough money here, I can't do anything for you, you know? I'd be shooting myself in the foot. But how you should have approached this, Jim, you should have called me. That's what you should have done instead of saying I ran numbers. You should have called me and said, you know what, I see that you've been a customer in the past, and I'd love to get more of a presence at your restaurant, because I looked at your website and you're doing some really cool stuff, and that's what Flying Dog's about. How can I get more of our beers into your restaurant? Because I feel we could do really good there, you know? Me starting to do a beer dinner might be a great start, or why don't I have this sales rep come sit down with you and talk with you or meet with you and do some things, you know, and say, you know, I'm not available in January, I don't know what my schedule's like. Let's see if we can push this off till, you know, the following summer or following whatever. Let's see if, you know, in the meantime, let's get some good Flying Dog beers, you know, going. You know, are you interested in any programs? You know, because all these breweries have programs. You know, they have a rotating tap lines, you know. Every other month they're sending you, like Stone does their odd beers, odd years, or whatever it is. Every other month I'm getting something from Stone. Every other month I'm getting something from Duvel. Getting something every other month from Omegang. So I'm getting constant stuff from them. So the more Omegang that's on tap, the more that's in bottles, the more that other stuff's filling in. So, Jim, you should have the concept of, okay, here's a customer who's given me money for 10 years. I'm giving you money for 10 years, Jim. 10 years I've given your company money. Your approach should be, how can I make this customer happier? How can I get more into this customer? What can we do to improve it? But instead you call me and you piss me off like that? You downright I'm just a number to you, Jim? Is that all I am? It's just a number to you? Why don't you go do a beer dinner with somebody who sells Budweiser? Why don't you do that? Maybe that's more of a fit for your beers. Get into a restaurant that has Bud products on tap and too. Because a lot of restaurants do that. They do a craft beer dinner, but most of their stuff is going right to Bud and Coors. Okay, because that's what they make money on. I don't rely upon cheap beer in my restaurant to make money. I rely upon good beer to make money. My margins are higher, so I'm not out there and running numbers and saying, how can I make more money on beer? Like you're looking, how, you know, I'm not making enough money, so I can't devote time to him. You know, just a total dirtbag move in my opinion. Just really bad. You know, 40 people would have come to your dinner and sat here in the audience and been wowed by you. You would have 40 new fans right then and there. 40 new fans. I would have had a chance to have you come to my restaurant personally, have a great time with you. Do you think my spending would have gone up at that point? Of course it would have. Every time we do a beer dinner, that brewery always gets much more attention. Even a year later, even 2 years later, that brewery gets so much more attention. I did an Abita dinner here once. I hadn't bought one Abita beer, but somebody said, why don't you do an Abita dinner? I bought one Abita, okay? Look at the numbers. Call the Abita guy. Have him run numbers and look how I went from 0. Jim, you had 10 years in here. 10 years in my restaurant. Abita went from 0 to doing a decent business with a place that is small like mine, 65 seats. They're doing a decent business here, Abita. You know, nothing astronomical, but man, I'm bringing in, the last 2 months, probably 5 kegs from Abita. I have another keg downstairs ready to tap right now. So, you know, that's another approach you got to look at, Jim. You know, so you have to build your customers. You have to treat us with respect. You really do. You know, I don't know if you're lacking sales force, you're just lacking knowledge, or you're just lacking common sense, or if you just have no etiquette. That's probably what it is, just no etiquette. So, you know, it's unfortunate, Jim, but I'm probably gonna do an event. I'm post an event here on Facebook, and I'll tweet it too. You know, because I do have, you know, some of your beer here. I'm probably gonna do a farewell to Flying Dog event, and post this video and just do an outline of why we're not going to support Flying Dog anymore. Because I don't want to be one of your numbers. I don't want to be a number to you, Jim, okay? It downright sucks. It downright sucks. You booked a dinner with us. You should have never committed in New York. You should have never committed face-to-face with me. You should have gone back and did the research you had to do on my restaurant and run numbers then and try to figure out how to build business in my restaurant before you said yes. Before I went to my customers, and then you confirmed on email. Before I went to my customers, made a fool out of myself, because that's what I did. People were like, what do you mean? What do you mean there's no flying dog? We were coming to that because it was on the beer schedule, on my website, okay? So you should have never confirmed, you should have never sent an email, and you should have, and then you give me some excuse like, oh, I never saw those emails, because, let me give you my personal email, because I'd read those. You know what? That's where I sent it. I sent it to your personal email. That's the email I sent it to, and that's the email I'm sending this video to, since you read your personal emails, but you don't answer them all from what I see. So, you know, Jim, I hope you learned something from this. I really do, because if I treated my customers like how you treated me, I wouldn't be in business. I'd totally not be in business. So, you know, maybe you need to train. I don't know if you train your reps to that mentality too. Numbers, numbers, numbers. You know, get your reps out there, get yourself out there, get your brand out there, do stuff. You know, build something. Build your brand in my restaurant. Build your brand in other restaurants. Don't just expect people to order your product. And when they don't order enough, you know, treat them like that. You know, I was willing to do an awesome beer dinner with you and honor you here and everything. I was awesome. I was willing to roll out the red carpet in a month that I never do that. And you can ask anybody who you want, these other beer reps who come here and brewery owners who come here. They love our dinners. They downright love our dinners. I mean, they go crazy over them. So, you know, I just don't know. You know, I think I expressed my point to you, Jim. You know, it's too bad. It's really very, very unfortunate. Because, you know, I remember you from back in the days when you were in Colorado, because I'm actually from Colorado. You know, I worked at the Broadmoor. I was in Colorado Springs, you know. And you know, I remember the days when you were a Colorado brewery. You know, I was Colorado. And, you know, so I always had a fond liking to your beers. That's why you were one of the first beers on my list here at the restaurant. When I literally opened up, you were, you know, I had like 15 beers, good beers back then, still craft beers. I only opened up with 15 beers, man. You were on there from day one. Day one. I bought so much Horn Dog one time that I had aged it and was offering, you know, vintage Horn Dog. You know, I found some at the beverage store here, and I stocked up on stuff. They had the beverage store that was old too, and a couple years old. It was just, you know, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, Jim. Please, Jim, you know, you should have handled everything much, much different than you did, and you could have probably built a much more viable business in my restaurant than you're going to have now, because you're not going to have anything from Aroma Time. And I refuse to support your beers. I refuse to drink your beers. I don't care how good they are, how bad they are. You've lost me as a customer. It's really unfortunate. So stay tuned for the farewell to the Flying Dog beer event I'm going to post on Facebook and just let everything. I would lose money on it, but it's unfortunate that New York State doesn't allow me to lose money on alcohol. I'll just let it all go at cost and just get rid of it and get a SKU in there that, you know, where a brewery that's going to pay much more attention and it's going to appreciate the business. So that's it for now. That was my rant, customer service. Leave any comments of, you know, am I right? Am I wrong here? You know, what's the deal? You know, let's get your guys' opinion. Jim, why don't you weigh in on it? Post your comment, Jim. You know, maybe you think I'm a total idiot, Jim. Post your comment. Let's see. Please post a comment. Am I right? Am I wrong? You know, looking back at it, Jim, would you have handled this differently now? Would you have actually, you know, sat down and really said, how can I build more of a beer business there? You know, and don't forget, you're the one who picked the date. You're the one who did it. We just went along with the dates. And then, you know, and to be honest with you, the January date you picked, I had booked artisanal imports for a La Trappe dinner that day. So, you know, so that's why I said I needed to confirm with you. I was, you know, going to get back to you after my next beer dinner, because I had an extremely busy summer here, record summer here. I'm Chef Marcus Julian. I'm a chef on a mission. Hit click, like, subscribe, pass this video on, just like all my videos. Pass them on, spread the word.